Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nerd Ledger. I'm Cage, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally, right, we have our full long podcast. Every Wednesday, we go live on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Nerd Ledger. Chair and I, we over a bunch of different topics, usually, like including nerd news and, talk about latest nerd TV shows and movies and all that stuff. We do that every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. PST. We go live, and then I take the audio and I upload it as podcast, and I post the video on YouTube. So, I mean, you're probably familiar with that by now if you're listening to this. But if not, it's good just to remind you. But today I'm going to do something that I hope to do more of, and it's just like a shorter one-off. I'm only going to be talking about one thing today, and it's right there, The Crow. And I'll probably do more of these because this is something that I'm really into, right? I love The Crow, but Chair, my podcasting partner, he's never seen it, so it's not worth a conversation there. So stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about on the podcast, I'll do one-off stories here or there, or just if I want to rant about something, and that'll be fun. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about The Crow. The Crow is an old movie that I love. There's also a graphic novel by James O'Barr, and yeah, The Crow is phenomenal. And there have been rumors of a reboot for a long time. It was rumored that Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa, would be taking the role of The Crow, and we didn't know at that time if it was going to be Eric Draven. Eric Draven is the main character of The Crow, or if it would be a different main character who takes on the mantle. But it's really important to understand the conspiracy, I guess. Not really conspiracy, but there's probably some outrage with the news that The Crow is being rebooted, and it's landed now at Lionsgate. And I'll read the article, don't worry. And the reason why is because Brandon Lee played Eric Draven in the original Crow movie, and he died during filming. He was killed accidentally on set. A gun that was supposed to fire blanks hit him, and he died. And so he died making the movie, right? So he's forever immortalized as Eric Draven. So a lot of people are like, "Hey, well, no one else could ever be Eric Draven. This guy literally died becoming this character." And so there's a lot of outrage around the idea that, he would be recast in the future with a new actor. And so I don't have a strong opinion on this. I think, it's not like, should they or shouldn't they do this? It's Hollywood. Of course they're going to do it. It's in their best interest to try to make money, and this is the way that they're going to do it. So I'll read the article here for you. So The Crow reboot lands at Lionsgate. Bill Skarsgård, FKA Twigs, and Danny Huston star in the film. Rupert Sanders directed the feature. The Crow is flying over to Lionsgate, which will handle domestic distribution for the long-awaited reboot. Rupert Sanders directed the feature, with Bill Skarsgård starring in as the titular character, which originally debuted in the late 1980s comics by James O'Barr. They centered on a man and his fiancée who are killed by a gang after the couple's car breaks down. But the man exacts vengeance after being resurrected as the Crow. The late Brandon Lee famously played the character in the 1994 film and was killed during an on-set accident. FKA Twigs, Danny Huston, Laura Byrne, Sammy Boyagila, and Jordan Bolger star Victor Hadida, Molly Hassel, John Jenks, the late Samuel Hadida, and the late Edward R. Pressman produced. Zach Balin and Will Schneider penned the script. This is a quote from the producers. This is a joint statement they made. It said, "The original film left an incredible mark on our culture that lives on. We are thrilled to bring a new adaptation for today's audiences that respects this legacy. Rupert has masterfully brought new dimensions to create a contemporary universe for the timeless saga of undying love, and we can't wait to share this vision with film audiences." Charlotte Coe, Lionsgate Executive VP Acquisitions and Co-Production, said, "We appreciate that the Crow character and the original movie mean to what they mean to legions of fans. and believe this new film will offer audiences an authentic and visceral reinterpretation of its emotional power and mythology. CAA Media Finance handled the deal for domestic. Co will oversee The Crow for Lionsgate. John Biondu oversaw the deal for the studio. All that means nothing. That's a worthless last sentence. Anyway, but yeah, so there you have it. This movie's supposed to come out sometime next year in 2024. And honestly, I'm just curious to hear how people feel about this. I have a friend who also really loves The Crow, and I know already he's gonna hate this because he's one of the people that really believes that Eric Draven, Brandon Lee is Eric Draven, and that's it. And I get that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that school of thought. But I think he will ultimately still give this reboot a fair shake. Like, he might hate it, but I think he'll still watch it. Whether he's just watching it to hate it, like to purposely just talk shit about it and say, "Oh, I've seen it, it's terrible." I don't know, but I'll probably see it and maybe fairly judge it. Probably not. But yeah, it's always interesting with things like this, right? Because you have characters, right? Like even Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I don't know if it's still. I would argue Harry, Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, even like Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. Like, these are all characters where the actors have fit the roles so well and immortalized those characters, right? Like when people think about these characters, they're gonna think about those actors, right? And you can say the same for characters like Indiana Jones, and it goes on and on. And those are actors that live on today that didn't die making those movies and being in those roles. However, if and when they get recast for future projects, there will be people who are mad about it, right? And we already know Warner Brothers is remaking the Harry Potter movies. Whether they're gonna do it with TV shows or actual movies is to remain to be seen. Same with the Lord of the Rings. Like, all these things are gonna be remade, and it's not like they're far off. I mean, this was announced last year or early this year or something. Like, they're already working on it. And then there was another report recently from the guy running Warner. I think it was David Zaslav. I don't know. Someone at Warner Brothers pretty much saying like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and all these things that they own have been really underutilized. And you can understand where that comes from a little bit, like, but it's also one of those things where I think a lot of people feel like they shouldn't be exploited the way we exploit things these days. Like, right, we see frequently just IPs are always just being, beaten to death. But it's because that's what sells. And so, I get where he's coming from as a business person, but yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But the point I'm making is, right, even actors who are still alive who immortalized roles, people would get mad if they were recast. And Eric Draven, right, Brandon Lee died making this movie, being this character. And so it's even more egregious to a lot of people, the idea that they would just redo the movie with the same character and just cast somebody new. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I think the movie will still do fine in theaters and everything else. I mean, The Crow is, like, even the article mentions it's like a cult classic. Like, people really love the movie, and I think the themes and the story resonates with a lot of people, including myself. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. And so this is kind of a taste of what these little things will be like. It'll just be one article. I'll share my thoughts. I'll talk speculatively about things, and then I'll post it, and then it'll be what it is. And then the full podcast will still come out every Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up is the 20th. So if it's past the 20th of September, then it's already out. We'll be talking about Ahsoka episode 6, and maybe some other stuff if there's enough news to cover. But if not, we'll just be talking about Ahsoka. And yeah, but this is something I want to do more of, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Much love. Check out all the stuff we're doing. Goodbye. It'd be really awkward if I didn't actually leave when I say goodbye, because I have to go click the stop recording button. And also like the podcast. I don't edit, not because I can't. I just don't want to. And I like the live kind of feeling and format. This isn't live. I'm pre-recording it. But hey, okay. I'm gonna hit the stop recording button now. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Click the buttons. I don't know, wherever you listen, watch. Bye.